It's not a rumor. It's not a joke. It's not a trick. Russell T Davies to return as showrunner for Doctor Who. After saying he wouldn't even write a story for Doctor Who, saying he had done all he could do, and was happy with his time and loved the character and all that, but had moved on and blah 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 blah. So Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall had already announced they're leaving, and claimed that they had agreed on a 3-season deal anyway. So whether or not that's true or not, okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. So then the idea was, of course, who would be the next Doctor. Narratively speaking, I thought it would be obvious for it to be Joe Martin's Doctor, but but anyway, who would be the new showrunner? And one of the fantasies all along would be for Russell T Davies to come in and restore Doctor Who to its former glory and all of that. And it seemed unlikely. I thought it was possible that he would certainly return in some form or fashion for the 60th anniversary special or something like that, and might even write the script for it. And I thought that would probably be as good as it got. But this is it's certainly fascinating and interesting. What deals did they have to do to get him to come back, especially with the state the franchise is in currently? So of course, fluff pieces abound, and you were never going to have Russell T Davies come in. Well, it's in such a bad state of affairs, I hate to see it just die, so I'm gonna come back and fix the mess. He's never gonna say that. Instead, his official comment is, "I'm beyond excited to be back on my favorite show, but we're time traveling too fast. There's a whole series of Jodie Whittaker's brilliant Doctor for me to enjoy with my friend and hero Chris Chibnall at the helm. I'm still a viewer for now." Jeez. That's the statement. It says, "Oh, well, he's just got to say that, and I'm sure, to some extent, but then again, it's the structure and power base is still in place. So how much can he do?" Of course, idiot Piers Winger weighs in. "As the 13th Doctor prepares to embark on new and extraordinary adventures, the winds of change are blowing." Yeah, they sure are. "Bringing with them news to delight Doctor Who fans across the globe. We are thrilled that Russell's returning to Doctor Who to build on the huge achievements of Chris and Jodie." Well, if you mean completely burning down the whole franchise and destroying it utterly, then I guess that was quite an achievement. So thank you to the two of them and the team in Cardiff for all they continue to do for the show. And hello, Russell. It's wonderful to have you back. Oh, jeez. So do these statements really mean anything? And that this is just, to give Chibnall a little send-off. After all, ultimately, Chibnall was the yes man for what BBC wanted. So even though he deserves an awful lot of blame, ultimately the full blame lies with the BBC and what they wanted. So with someone like Russell T Davies coming in, will he be allowed to do what he absolutely wants? And just at the outset, I said no, they wouldn't do that. But unless things are really desperate, and they would have to be. The moneymaker that Doctor Who was under Russell T Davies during the Tennant era and all that was extraordinary, and Doctor Who had never reached those heights before, not quite like that. to where there was, Doctor Who merchandise everywhere. Just Doctor Who was sort of a cult fan thing here in the States anyway. And people like me, we watched them on PBS and stuff like that, and we knew of the character, and there would be some conventions and whatnot, and all that. And of course, you read Starlog magazine, and there'd be a lot of stuff about Doctor Who and that. And there he was alongside, Star Trek and Space 1999 and Star Wars, and it was just one of these other characters that you could check out and all that sort of stuff. But when this moment came, like I said, there was just Doctor Who everywhere. Everywhere you looked, there was a little TARDIS keychain or a TARDIS coffee cup, and so on and so forth. And it's all gone. They made stuff for the Jodie era and stuff, but nobody's buying it. And a lot of stuff that is put out now, it'll have either David Tennant or Matt Smith on it, and stuff like that. And it just shows you the sad state of affairs, because that was this huge cash cow coming in for the BBC. And he says, oh, well, they always had the license fee. Yeah, but this was the extra sweetness, and then you killed it. And now you don't have a license fee, at least not as like you used to. Oh, Sugar Daddy has said, man, I'm cutting you off the allowance. So, so the only means by which to go forward, and especially with something like Doctor Who, which has the ability and the reach to be big and to bring in, cash. Because other products BBC produce might be really good, but it's rather small. It doesn't have the capacity to build up a whole merchandise empire underneath it, whereas Doctor Who does. And so the desire for that has to be there. I don't care what their cult-like beliefs are. You're going to starve if you don't. And so this would be, how do they get Russell T Davies back to not just for a special, but for running an entire series back to the old job he once had? And certainly this is the sad state of affairs of Doctor Who, I think, would have to be a motivation for it. But obviously some sort of sweetness to it for perhaps other projects he wants. Or, and this would be my profound hope, is that they said, you've got a blank check on Doctor Who. It's yours. And so insofar how long, whatever he signed on for. And that would be much better. And unless, of course, he's got some wild, crazy, idiot ideas that are terrible. It could be a possibility. But that would be what's necessary to get out from under the filter and the hammer of the BBC and its bizarre political agendas and whatnot. So if that would be the case, that would be much better. I seem to recall one of the rumors, and there's tons of them about, who's going to be this and who would be the new Doctor and all that sort of stuff. But one of them was that there was some behind-the-scenes push. And at the time, it was in the form of both Russell T Davies and Moffat wanting to set up a separate production company that the BBC would outsource Doctor Who to. That's not entirely what's happened here, but it will be. It's they're partnering up with Russell T Davies' Bad Wolf Productions. So, and the idea that they went insofar as to mention that, and that's part of the deal. Perhaps, just perhaps, this is more of an outsourcing to Bad Wolf, and that they'll be completely in charge of Doctor Who. So, yeah, it's quite the tease. So it has my interest. Yes, I will now have to revisit Doctor Who. I don't know about the final season for Jodie and all that. God, that Timeless Child just beat it out of me so badly. I mean, that really was Last Jedi level stuff for Doctor Who. And because then, with Russell T Davies coming in, I don't care if he convinces Michael Sheen to be the new Doctor. He's one of the popular actors a lot of people want to be the new Doctor and all that. And great, so you get him and all that. But if you're forced to do more of the same and to maintain the Timeless Child crap, it doesn't matter. I don't care who the showrunner is. I don't care if you get Tom Baker to be the showrunner. He's forced to do that. Actually, Peter Capaldi would be an excellent showrunner for Doctor Who because he really does know the character. But poor man, after what they did to him, I don't know that it'll be. Maybe with Russell T Davies there, they can get him to come do the special for the 60th anniversary. But again, if the script is horrible and the ideas are crap, and just don't answer the phone call, Peter. Because it's not worth it. So that's the deal. If it's going to remain like that, and you're just going to, or just pretend like it didn't, sort of like the 96 TV movies, is no, the Doctor's not half human, and just forget that and move on. Yeah, it was this one-shot thing in the middle of the 90s and stuff like that, so it's easier to do. This isn't something you can just ignore. You have to deal with it. And there's all kinds of ways and narrative means by which you could, it was a plot by Rassilon or something like that. And it could go further into other aspects of it all. And there's all kind of possible solutions. And the obvious one is, the Master's the real timeless child. I don't like the timeless child, even if it isn't the Doctor, in the sense that that's the origin of regeneration, which is just absolutely awful. Because as I say, Last Jedi level for Doctor Who, that's akin to Luke Skywalker becoming a child killer, or at least contemplating it. And here the Time Lords tortured a child repeatedly, or at least the founder now. It's not Rassilon, it's Tecteun, who I kept expecting them to say Tecteun took on the name Rassilon, and that's who Rassilon always was and whatnot, but they didn't even think of that. I don't know. And then we'll find out that the timeless child was really Rassilon. I don't want to, because the idea was that regeneration was an aspect of the vortex and all this sort of stuff. I would much rather they keep it as it was, and that the Doctor is not Dr. God, it's Doctor Who. And it's just this clever Time Lord who's a bit of a, an outcast, so what? Because he was eccentric and all that sort of stuff. But and that's a much better narrative than it's Dr. God. And he's just been playing around all this time. He was never going to lose because, he's God. So all sorts of reasons for that thing to be thrown down the black hole of time or whatever, and restore Doctor Who to its former glory. So the interest and excitement is there, but if this is just they somehow managed to really pay off big for Russell, and they're just going to use his name there to get people to come back in for a couple of episodes, and then they're going to realize what the real deal is, and then it's just going to plummet, just like it did for Jodie. There was all this curiosity and whatnot for the first episode. Wow, look at the ratings! Oh, and then it just goes down, 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 down. Until there's nothing. So, of course, wait and see. But just have a huge amount of caution. Just because it's Russell T Davies, that doesn't mean that's it. It's back. Everybody relax. It's going to be cool and great. Not so fast. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.